Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm Mary.
I'm Linda.
We're Pinky Ball Sisters in the Kitchen, and thank y'all for joining us. And we're going to be doing something kind of similar, simple, but something you can use in a lot of different ways, and that's meatballs. You know, you can use meatballs and spaghetti. You can make meatballs and noodles, meatballs and gravy. You know,
You can make a sandwich.
Yeah, meatball sandwich. So there's just a lot of ways. So saying that, you kind of vary a little bit on the recipe. Depends on what you're cooking. The recipe I put on the members page, I have oregano and I've used Italian crumbs, breadcrumbs, but that is for spaghetti.
Right.
If you're doing the gravy, and I'll tell you what I've done, when I posted this, in my mind, I use my recipe that I make meatballs for spaghetti with. Well, I got thinking, I'm making gravy. I don't want that oregano in there on my gravy.
You want to have it a different
and I don't
flavor.
want to put the cheese in there on my gravy. So, if you go by the recipe, use that for meatballs and spaghetti. If you're doing gravy like I'm doing today, you omit the cheese and the oregano.
And you're making this gravy by request, right?
Yes, yes. There was Linda's friend's husband, April and Carl.
Yeah.
Was wanting hi April and Carl. They was wanting a recipe for gravy, so brown gravy. So that's another reason that I added this to it. So
It smells really
and
good
before
in
we get on, there is a lady, one of our friends and followers that sent me a text that she's having a birthday today, and she had lost her brother, and she's missing her brother really bad because he was one of her big fans that always called her on her birthday. So Judy Benice Anderson.
Oh, happy birthday to you. Oh, happy birthday to you. May you feel Jesus near every day of the year. Oh, happy birthday to you. Oh, happy birthday to you. And the best you've ever had. And everybody else has a birthday today.
So we just wanted to give a shout out to her. All right, now, preheat your oven to 375, and I've already done one batch this morning, and this is the same skillet. If you see them little bits in there, that's onion. I put a tablespoon of olive oil in here, and then I'm going to be putting, I've already chopped up the onions this morning, so y'all won't have to listen to me chop. Matter of fact, Linda, when I chopped up the onion this morning, I chopped 3 onions and bagged them in a baggie.
And put them in the freezer.
And then put them in another Ziploc freezer bag and put them in the freezer. And I put them in individual bags because you don't have to throw them all out at one time.
That is an excellent idea. You know, I had 2 onions to ruin in my pantry. They absolutely did. And Mike said, next time we need to just chop them up and put them in the freezer. Yeah. That's a very good idea.
So that's what I've done. And it just takes time. Almost everything you cook, just about, you got to have onions. So I just chopped me up 3 onions this morning, froze them. This is a half a cup for this recipe.
So you know you need to tell me what to do.
All right. Well, it's just so simple. You can put that in the water for you. Sorry. There it goes, greasing the pans again. I think of that every time I tell you to do something so simple.
When we first started cooking, Mary was 9 and 8.
Yeah,
you were 9 and I was 8. And I wanted to bake and cook so bad. I think that's one reason I like to bake cake so much. And Mary, I was 8. I was 17 months younger than Mary, and I wasn't allowed to have anything to do with the burners or light the stove. So my job was to grease the pans. And it's always been an inside joke with me and Mary because I greased. That was her. I was the person that greased the pans, and she got to bake the cake.
Okay, I'm just going to cook these onions till they're tender, just a few minutes, and then I'm going to add some garlic, minced garlic to it. And the reason for doing this like this, it doesn't take but 30 minutes to cook these meatballs in the oven. I want my onions done.
Yeah. you
And
don't
that's
want
why
to
that
do
I do this first.
Mike loved those potatoes and beans yesterday.
Did
with
he?
him.
They were delicious.
Somebody didn't bring me any.
I know. I asked your mom, should we
No.
send you some? And I feel so bad that we didn't send you any.
Well, Chuck seen me bringing them in, and
did he ask for
I
some
stopped.
more?
I stopped and got him something for supper, and I didn't tell him about I had them beans and taters. And whenever he seen me with them, he says, "Is that what y'all cooked today?" I said, "Yeah, but I didn't tell you because I figured I'd eat them all."
I had enough to make a huge pot. I had plenty. I just didn't make that big pot because I didn't figure they would be eaten.
And see, everyone thinks you're the nice one, Mama.
Well, you know.
Anyway, tomorrow what I'm making is I'm making enough that everybody will get to have some.
Well, I'm gonna make enough meatballs. I've got. I'm not gonna make all the on air. I'm only gonna do one pan, but I'm actually gonna do more than that. Now I'm putting a tablespoon of minced garlic. And I put this back in the refrigerator. You can stir that for me if you don't mind.
Okay. Well, I'm going to just
Okay.
do this.
Just put it in the door of the refrigerator. And then you just, about a minute or just, you don't want to cook this garlic too long in here. This has got to cool because I'm going to make a mixture like a paste to put in the meatballs. And this little paste, what it does, it kind of thickens the meatball and holds it together.
Okay.
So, I'm going to turn this down. I had it, I'm just going to let it finish cooking. But this has got to get cool. And I started to do this before I got on camera so that it would be cool, but it doesn't take it long to cool.
We're going to get some rain for today's up.
Oh, I haven't even been outside.
I hope it don't start storming. I hope it don't storm at all, but I hope it
Yeah.
don't storm me on the way home.
Yeah. So we'll take this off the burner now. And for a few seconds.
Mary mentioned potato gravy yesterday, and I think you said Linnell cooked potato
Yes,
gravy
she
for
did.
breakfast.
She did.
We have a video on potato gravy. Several people commented and asked about it,
Yeah.
and
Water,
remove that, Mary. Anyway, we might do another one, but we do have a video on us making potato gravy. That's something that we grew up with. Mama making.
This is a lot of meat. I'm not using all this. This is 3 kinds of meat in here.
I was gonna say you got that mix, don't
Yeah,
you?
it's 3 kinds. I'm gonna wash my hands again, and because I'm just gonna mix up what the recipe says on camera. And I'll tell you why I've got 3 kinds of meat here. It's called. Everybody may not feel this way. Matter of fact, well, I don't guess I will. I'm just gonna put my gloves on because I put my hands in this meat. I don't use the all of the 96.4.
Yeah.
I don't use all of that in making meatballs because I want a little fat in it.
Yeah, it's like a hamburger. You need a little
Yeah,
bit of fat.
I need a little bit of fat in it. And my hands was wet. I shouldn't have tried to put this on. I gotta dry my hands. These gloves won't come on with my hands wet.
We're glad to have little Linda back today with us too,
Yes.
behind the camera, and Carla is on the other end behind the camera.
So I got some meat that it's not actually. I saved the thing so I could tell you. This came from Sam's. It's actually 88% ground beef.
Okay.
Because which that has fat in it, but it's Sam's, and their meat is a little bit better than
Usually
some-
hamburger's like 85,
Yeah,
right, or 80.
yeah. So that's 88, but I'm putting some 96.4. I'm
Okay.
mixing that with it. So this
That's
is
the 96.4 there, isn't it?
yes. This is a 96.4. It's got a little bit of other, but my recipe says a pound of hamburger. Throw that in the trash if you will. That's the 96.4, and then I'm going to put some. And this here is ground pork, and it's a half a pound, so that's about I'm gonna take, I don't weigh this. I got a scale, but that's another hang. I just throw it in there. Well, I'm gonna tell you something. I'm pretty near right. I can tell you.
Oh, I
I've
know
done
that.
it.
I'm not laughing about that. I was just like,
I've done this enough. I pretty well know. And then this here is the pound of the 88. So that's what we're cooking today, right there. And I've already done one thing this morning with that. Now, if you'll put that in the refrigerator, I will do some more later off the camera. But this is basically what the recipe says. All right. Now I'm going to put this. I'm going to put this onions in.
take it in there. I'll
Yeah,
do it.
if you'll put that in there, I want it to cool.
Okay.
And I'm going to do these just like the recipe says. I'm going to put this in here. Oh, no, I'm not putting that in there. I'm making a paste out of that.
Now, you want this skillet
This
back
is
on the burner,
breadcrumbs.
Mary?
Huh?
You want this back on the burner?
No, I don't. I'm gonna wash that. I'm just gonna, all I'm putting in the meat is salt and pepper. This is kosher salt. Whoops. Leave it to me. This is half a teaspoons, so I do two of them, and then the pepper. And I got a pepper container over there, and I got, and I want a half a teaspoon of pepper. Thank you, Linda. Now I want.
Breadcrumbs?
I'm gonna put oregano in this, so I'll go ahead and put the oregano in here. And where's my half a teaspoon? Is that it? I'm gonna put it in this dry. I'm gonna put these dry ingredients in here.
Oh, you've already used the breadcrumbs. I'm sorry. I was putting them back over here.
No, I don't need the breadcrumbs. Thank you, Linda. And I'm using a fourth of a cup. Where's my little fourth of a cup? Did I? Maybe over there. I done used it one time this morning. A fourth of a cup of cheese. I'm doing this just like it is on camera. I'm not making gravy with this that I'm mixing now. I don't know what it is that being on camera, I just can't seem to get it together.
You're doing good. What are you talking about?
You're doing good, Mary.
Milk. I'm putting this in here. And the egg. Yeah, there's the lid. I was going to beat this egg up before I put it into there. Here. Get my little mixer out here. Beat this egg up good. So test those onions, Linda, would you, to see if they're cooled off a little bit?
Yeah, there's still a little bit more.
Are they? We just don't want them hot, because is it cooled a little bit?
They're just
Okay.
a little warm. They're not bad.
Okay. I really should have put that cheese in here, so I'm gonna put it in here now. It ain't gonna hurt, it's gonna all be mixed up together anyway. It just thickens this paste up. Don't want that now. This will get thick. That's your egg and your dry ingredients. Now, is the onions cooling enough? We put the onions in this.
You can check them, but I think
Yeah.
they're not going to cook your eggs.
Yeah, that's the
basically
point.
what
That's the point, yeah. So they won't cook the eggs.
you don't ever add anything hot. With an egg, raw egg, you
Right.
just don't cook it.
Right. See this right here is kind of what holds the meat together.
Yeah, it's a binder.
Thank you. Now just mix all this together. Pork and ground meat, and if you don't want the pork in it, you don't have to. You can just do all ground meat. And if you don't want any fat in it, just use all the 96.4. You know, but I wanted then this is my opinion again. I don't know if this is any truth to it or not, but meatballs, have you ever eaten a meatball that tasted rubbery?
Yeah.
And that's because it didn't have no fat in
Yeah,
it. That's
it's the
why
fat.
I don't like it, because I've had them before, and I didn't want it. I wanted a little bit of oil, a little bit of fat in it. So, and Linda,
You want the pan?
no, I was going to see if you wanted to roll. I forgot what I did with those gloves. There's one. I wrote one of them. You want to?
Okay.
Because when I get these together, you can help me roll the meatballs.
Okay, sure.
Just can't remember. Here's another. Here's another one out there. All right. And you just put this in here. And I've got the pan. What did I do with the pan?
So here.
I lined the cookie sheet with aluminum foil and sprayed it with oil. So I'll just mix all this together and make balls. It's real.
And how many does this make?
What I made this morning, I think was, let's see, I did 5, 3, about 15.
Oh, okay.
Make about 15 balls.
When you're serving, about how many do you usually allow per person?
This size, I would be 3.
That's what I was.
Yeah.
That's what I was had in
Yeah.
my mind. Was
Yeah.
about 3.
I don't know that I could eat 3 if I had potatoes and other vegetables with it or
But
something.
I imagine men could.
Yeah.
They could
Oh,
probably
yeah.
eat
Oh,
3.
yeah. You can make these any size you want to. I mean, sometimes, I know at church sometimes, there's a lady that she makes hers and she makes hers big.
Big, real
Yeah. It just takes longer to cook them. It's just, and you can use a cookie scoop. All right. That's a little bit big.
Is that too big, Mary?
No, that's not too big. Make it a little bit bigger than that. But that's okay. This is about what size I make them. They don't have to be far apart whenever you're baking them. But, and this is a small batch.
So if they were using a cookie scoop, I would say the large one,
Yes,
the 3 tablespoons,
yes.
Mary. Do you
Yes. I did use a scoop this morning, but it was harder for me than. It didn't, to me, I don't think it packed it in there good enough.
Okay.
The scoop will make it round, but you want the meatball packed. Well, I'm making mine, it must be big and bigger.
Am I making mine
No,
too big?
yours
or
is
too
fine,
little?
yours is fine. I'm just thinking it's not gonna make as many as I made this morning, but that's okay.
Someone wanted to know you. They said Charla says you said to leave out the oregano and cheese if you are making them with gravy, correct?
Yes, and that's what I did this morning. I did not put the cheese or the oregano in the meat because I am making gravy with what I did this morning.
Keep knocking some out on the counter.
So when I did that recipe, I had on my mind the way I do meatballs for spaghetti. But you can do these ahead of time and cool them and put them in a Ziploc bag and freeze them.
That's a good.
And that way you can just take out however many you want. That you want whenever you get ready to cook. Saves a lot of time.
I think mine are bigger than yours. Mary.
That's okay. Hey, yours is fine.
That's probably why you didn't get as big.
That's okay.
And I'm not the.
It's fine. You make them as big as you want or as small as you want. Okay, that's fine. Oh yeah, here, let me give you this little bit it wasn't really enough to put on there. They're fine.
Get all of it in there.
Okay. All right, we're through with them. How many did we get?
Make 15.
Did it?
Yep.
Okay, well, and I didn't measure neither time. Weigh the meat. That's why I say it, after you make things so many times, you really don't have to. This is trash.
Okay.
All right. So now it'll go in the oven. I've got the oven at 375. And what you do is you cook them for 15 minutes. Take them out and turn them over. and cook them for 20 minutes. Let me set the timer.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay. Okay, now, these are my meatballs that I cooked this morning. It does not have cheese in it. It does not have oregano in it, because I'm going to put these in gravy. If you want to see, this one right here, I cut it in half and tasted it. That one right there, cut in half. All right. All right, now. Okay. Now I'm going to cook, I'm going to make some gravy. And this is something I did not put on the recipe. Because again, when I was writing this recipe, I have such a hard time typing exactly everything you do. When you're making gravy, you want some meat flavor in there. So I am going to take a little bit of meat, and if you're making this, just leave some of your meat out. And I'm going to fry it just to give that, skillet a little bit of flavor of meat.
Okay.
So I know we're going to put the meatballs in there, but it's just the difference. It's the oil or something. Anyway, I'm going to put a little bit of,
Sounds delicious.
I'm going to put a little bit of meat in there. Now I'm using my hand.
Are you through with this?
I'm through with that meat. Let me wash my hands again now. And I'm just gonna just cook that little bit of meat to go in the bottom. So, Carl, if you're watching, usually you fried your meat or whatever pan that you cooked your meat in. You need a little flavor in there. So, that's why I'm gonna fry this little bit of meat and get it. I'm gonna put some oil in it. I guess Linda, if you'll look in that bottle drawer and get me a measuring cup and get me a half a cup. I want a half a cup. Yeah.
When I first got married and I called Mom for the gravy recipe, and when I found out how you make it, it was years before I could eat it again. I could not eat it. I was like, that's grease. But then the fat girl came out in me, and I decided it was okay.
Well, I know.
We grew up with gravy.
Yeah. And like I said, now usually you take the oil that you cooked your meat in,
right,
and just don't wash your skillet. But if you're just making, I just want a little bit of meat flavor in this grease. And this is kind of the way you do potato gravy. You cut the potatoes up and cook it like this before you make the gravy.
Right.
So, but I just want this meat to get done. And you use equal parts of oil and flour when you're making gravy.
Yes.
Equal parts. So this is gonna make a lot of gravy. So I put what was that, a half cup of oil. If you're making just a small amount of gravy, you're probably going to use like 2 tablespoons of oil and 2 tablespoons of and this is my flour.
So tell them the difference between how to make white gravy and how to make brown gravy. The difference.
The only difference is that you don't brown your flour, and you use canned milk. At least that's what I do, evaporated milk.
And that was the 4th cup she was using.
That was 4th a cup, so that made it a half a cup of flour.
I didn't get your half a cup washed.
That's okay.
I was trying to get it to her.
Don't have to do it. But the difference in white gravy, and I'm going to put some milk in this, but I want this to brown too. So
do you put any beef?
I do. I got the beef broth right there.
Oh, you already got it ready.
I made the beef broth from
the tones.
From the tones that you buy at Sam's. So you can put that in the refrigerator for me if you don't mind, Linda. Put this up, kind of clean things up a little bit off this counter. but you wanna, if you make your milk gravy, if you're making just white milk gravy, you cook the flour long enough for it to cook, but
Yeah.
not brown.
You want to get the pasty
Right,
taste out of it.
right. So,
I think I make mine. I brown mine a little bit more than Mary does.
making white gravy.
No, not
Oh.
gravy. No, no. I'm sorry, Mary.
No,
I
I
was
want
thinking
this
you was
brown.
just talking about just
No,
gravy. And
no, I want this brown.
You like that wooden spatula?
I like it. Do
I do
you?
too. Mike doesn't. He doesn't like wooden ones. He really. But I do. I like the wooden ones.
So, anyway, I want to get this. I made potatoes, real potatoes this morning, right here.
Well, Kinley would love those, wouldn't
Yeah.
you?
And that's not just mashed potatoes, it's whipped potatoes.
Okay.
You know what I mean? What it is, I put evaporated milk in it
Okay.
and use a mixer. It's not just mashing the
Like
potatoes,
with-
I whip
yeah.
it. I whip the potatoes, because it's just, I mean, I don't do that every time, but
That's gonna be good gravy.
yeah. And I've got some frozen peas in the freezer that we could put in the microwave for some lunch. But I'm not gonna show you how I do that, because that's just throwing it in the microwave. I made Linda's trick. Salt and pepper in the bag, isn't that what she
I
does?
like that.
Yes.
Somebody sent me a post and said, tell little Linda that they got spaghetti now that's in pieces, and so she wouldn't have to break it up.
Oh.
You could actually take this meat out after you flavored it a little bit, but I didn't.
Yeah, I think it's good in there.
I just want this to get brown because I like a brown gravy that's brown but a little evaporated milk in it.
Yeah, for flavor. Mama
Yeah.
used canned milk a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah, I do too. Just want to. You can't, when you're making gravy and you want brown gravy or white, either one, you can't walk away from it. You have to keep stirring it because it will burn. And the longer you cook gravy that's got flour in it, the thicker it's gonna get. Shelly was asking me the other day, I made that roast and made gravy. She said that gravy was so good. And she said, how do you make that? And I told her, she said, well, I know now why my gravy ain't no good. She uses cornstarch
Oh no!
to thicken it instead of flour and oil. She just uses cornstarch. And she said, because it's healthier.
But it's not as good.
I'm gonna tell you, I don't normally fix that hamburger meat like this, like what I done. I was just trying to give it some flavor, but I'm gonna tell you, this pieces of hamburger meat is gonna be tough. I should have took them out because I'm cooking it so long. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if you fry hamburger meat, you need to take that out. I think. Now I don't know. I haven't tasted it yet. I don't normally do it because I've always made gravy after I've fried chicken or steak
It
or
had
pork
something in
chops.
it.
Yeah, and those drippings from
Yeah.
meat makes the best gravy. What I done with the gravy I made with the pot roast is I used all that juice from the crock pot.
That makes really good
Yeah.
gravy.
Yeah.
Did you cook it in the quick cooker? Or
I
in
cooked,
the
well,
crock pot?
Carla doesn't have our chef quick cooker. She's got a quick cooker that I gave her. I'm gonna take that meat out because I can tell you right now, I don't want to eat it. Give me a little bowl up there if you don't mind, Linda. I'm gonna take that meat out. Because we're gonna have the meatballs, and this meat here is gonna be, thank you, Linda. It's gonna be tough. And I don't want that in my gravy. I was just trying to give it some flavor, but I don't want it in my gravy.
Someone asked where you got your wooden spoon.
Where I got it is Pamper Chef. And you can tell we can get it hot.
something? Can
They
you
come in a
find
set.
something?
You know what? Some of our wooden spoons have been discontinued. I don't know if it's this one or not.
Sure.
All right, that's about as far as I'm gonna get it, I think. And this is bouillon.
I'm gonna get you some more water, because you're gonna need it, aren't you?
Yeah. I'm not gonna put all that in here right now. That's 2 cups is what that is. But I know I'm gonna need more. But I'm just gonna, I don't know how rich it is. That broth, let me tell you something. That broth is salty. And I don't want, I'm gonna use some water, Linda.
Okay.
Because I added salt to this. So if you don't mind, give me some water. This is, as you can see, this one right there, Linda. Right here. Oh, you get a bowl? Don't mind it. Yeah, this is, see, this is making, it's got to have a lot more water because I got a lot of flour in this. I'm gonna put some canned milk in it too.
What did you say you?
Pour it.
What did you say you put in your your whipped potatoes?
I put butter, a lot of butter, and evaporated milk. Carnation evaporated milk. And I whipped them with a mixer. All right, I'll need the whisk. And it's probably right, the big one is
Where
there
I'm at?
Linda's at. Yeah, in the top drawer. And you know why this is clumping up like this, everybody?
Aunt Linda, I'll let you get it.
It's in the second drawer, I'm sorry.
Oh.
The reason this is clumping up like this is because we added cold water and cold milk.
You want the silicone whisk, Mary?
It don't matter. Thank you. That's why it clumps up like that. If you don't,
That water was warm.
was it? Oh,
Yes.
okay. Well, that cold milk wasn't. So, you just keep cooking. When it gets hot and then whipping this up, it'll go
It'll
right.
smooth out.
It'll smooth out like velvet. And it would be darker if I hadn't added that evaporated milk. But I like the milk in it.
Can you substitute the oats for anything?
The what?
Did you? I don't know. That was one of the questions.
You didn't put oats
I
in
didn't
your-
put in oats.
You use
I
breadcrumbs.
used breadcrumbs. That was breadcrumbs. And again, it depends on what kind of meatballs you want, or what kind of meat breadcrumbs you use.
Like if you're making Italian or if
Yeah,
you're making
exactly.
gravy.
Exactly.
That looks really good.
All right. And as soon as that starts coming to a boil, it will thicken up. Put some black pepper in there.
Oh, that looks really good.
It's just got to come to a boil using that cold canned milk. Cooled it down. There's still a few little specks of that meat in here, but it's not like chewing on something like that would have been. That would have been tough. So get this thick, and then I'll put the meatballs in here, and then I'll cook it just a few minutes with the
Just kinda
meatballs
get
in there to
them
get the meatballs warm. Okay. All right, I may have to add some more pepper in this. But if you don't want the evaporated milk in it, just leave it brown gravy. That's how you make gravy, Carl, is equal parts of oil and flour. And then you add your salt and pepper and then some kind of broth. If you're using chicken broth, you use chicken broth. You're using beef, you use beef broth. If you do a roast, use water, the juice off of the roast. Anything to flavor the gravy makes it better. And
if you want white gravy, you
if
just.
you want white gravy, you just, I use pure canned milk.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll put a little bit of water in it, but it's creamy. My white gravy is creamy. It's milk.
Gravy is so easy to make. I know there's packets of it on the shelf, but to me, you should.
It tastes powdery.
Yeah, it's the real gravy is
Yeah.
so much better than those packets are.
And I can tell you, there's a package of McCormick. It's called Argo. How do you say that? Argo. I don't know if I've got some or not. I usually keep it, but I may not have it. It's
The all just stuff?
that something. It's beef broth is what it is.
Okay, yeah, that's
you
what
can
you're
make
talking
gravy,
about, the
yeah.
au jus or
Yeah,
whatever it
yeah.
is.
You can buy that in the store, and you can add that, and it has the same flavor as if you cook the roast.
Yeah.
So, and that buzz is going off because it's time to turn the meatballs over.
Okay.
Let me get out of the way before you open that.
So are you gonna take them out? You need
Yeah, I
tongs,
take them
right?
out. Yeah. Here's the tongs right here. Using my pot holders that I think Lynn gave us. Okay. You want to show them to them, Linda? Just turn the meatballs over.
They look really nice.
You don't want to overcook them because you don't want them to get tough, but you want them to be done. Okay, I think I got them all turned over. And now we'll cook them for 20 minutes.
20 minutes? Okay.
And then, and when you get them out, like I said, you can cool them off and put them in a Ziploc bag and freeze them. And you can, then when you want to make spaghetti or meatballs, you just
Really a time saver. If you're
Yeah.
going to the trouble to do this
Right.
anyway,
Right.
making some extra ones for an extra meal is really smart.
I'm gonna taste that and see if it's got enough. It got too much salt. No, it could use a little bit more, but not a lot. I didn't want it because I knew that beef broth
Yeah,
had salt in it. It's very
You
salty.
have to be very careful when adding something
Right.
like that.
And now I'm gonna put these meatballs in there.
And those are the ones you made this morning.
This is the ones that I made this morning. Linda. Yeah, thank you. And I'm gonna cook them in that just a few minutes. I'll turn the burner down, and I'm gonna put a lid on it.
I'm sorry, Linda.
Did I
Don't
catch
mind
your
me.
foot?
That's okay.
Sorry. Open that drawer here. Give me a rag. Let me wipe this off. I just like to wipe things up after they've been in the. There's something in that. I don't know what that is. Something. Okay. Just let it cook just a few minutes, and then I'll stick those peas in the microwave so we can have them for lunch. And this ain't no cooking to it. I don't normally cook. Even when I buy these microwave bags, I still cook them on the stove. But
Do you?
today, yeah. But
It's
today,
4.5 or 5 minutes.
Guess what?
It's 4.5 or 5 minutes. That's the only kind I cook, so I know.
Well, there's my coffee that I was heating up.
We do cook them in the microwave.
Do you?
Yeah, we do.
Oh, well, I got my
Yeah.
timer on, don't I? So 11 minutes. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna cook. Okay. Alrighty. I'll give that meat to Einstein.
Yeah, like that.
Cause you see how dry and hard that
Yeah.
is? I knew I didn't want that in my gravy. So, anyway, see, it's just a matter of letting it set a few minutes and those peas get done. We will have us a plate.
Do we have any questions, Linda?
I think I've been asking them as I see them.
Okay,
Oh,
good.
Carla did send me a message. Hold on.
Okay.
Let me read it. Okay. She said, Sheila Hensley
Uh-huh.
has an emergency medical need, and she asked that y'all would pray for them.
Okay.
And then April texted me and said he was wanting white country gravy, which you can explain again.
Okay. The white country gravy is you do the same thing. You do equal parts of oil and flour. And you need to cook that flour just a few minutes. You don't want to brown it, but you want to cook it till it and you get that floury taste out of it. Cook it just for a few minutes, and then you add. It depends on how much flour you use. Then I just use evaporated milk, and evaporated milk is pure cream. So you can put some water with it if you want to, but that's how you make milk gravy. I even use chicken broth sometimes. Do you ever do that in your white gravy?
Sometimes
It gives it flavor if you put a little bit of chicken broth in it. It's white gravy, but it gives it a little bit of a flavor instead of just milk gravy. So I do that sometimes, but that's all it is. You just equal parts of oil and flour, salt and pepper, and cook it. And put your your evaporated milk in it, and that makes milk gravy. And my kids loves it. Now, my kids, they like the sausage gravy.
Yeah.
And I do the sausage. The way I do that hamburger meat, I do the same thing with sausage, but I take that sausage out of the pan, like I should have done that meat. Take the sausage, cook you I like 2 or 3 patties of sausage, cook them, done, and then take them out of the skillet and use that same skillet to put you some oil and flour and make your milk gravy. And then I take the sausage, the cooked sausage, and I break it up and put it in with the milk. But I also, you don't put cream milk and cream in yours,
put cream in my sausage gravy.
No.
I don't.
Linda don't, but I do. That's why the kids likes it. Put it over a biscuit and they love it. The little Aaron, he could just eat 2 or 3.
Someone asked, why not put oregano?
Oregano is kind of Italian.
So that's for the red sauce.
That's yeah.
Right. And it just would change the
It would
taste
change
of
the
gravy.
taste of this brown
Yeah,
gravy.
it
It would, because that's Italian. It's more like for meatballs and stuff. So I don't put that oregano in there if you're making gravy. So.
Y'all want to tell them some of the things y'all have going on
Okay.
the next couple
Oh my
weeks?
goodness,
Oh,
we have such a busy schedule.
Yes.
So,
Go ahead.
a week from Saturday, we're going to Houston and we're flying out for a week. So that's going to be from the last day of April through the first week of May. We'll be gone. We will be going live, not cooking, but depending on if we have signals, we'll be going live several times that week while we're gone.
We're going to be taking a vacation.
Yeah,
A real vacation.
all 4 of us, the girls and Mary and I. And the following week when we come back,
We've got,
twice at my house, once at yours.
yeah, that week when we get back from our vacation, that Saturday, we're having something at my church. And we'll be doing that. And
Then the next
that's the
week,
14th of May. And your birthday's the 13th.
yeah,
When
my
we get back, her
Friday the
birthday's May the
Friday the
13th.
13th.
And
Uh-oh.
The following week, it's good though. The following week, on the 21st, we have the book signing.
In Lufkin.
In Lufkin, and I believe the name of it is Home Place, right? It's an antique store where they have several stores. It's kind of like an antique mall. I've never been there, but it's something like that, right?
Yeah, it's a house, and all the rooms have different vendors in
Right.
it, and some of the rooms have 2 or 3 vendors in it. And it's a nice, got a lot of antique stuff in
It's called the Home Place,
Okay.
and y'all want to give the address so if
Yes,
anyone wants to
Yes,
come?
let's give the address.
Give
It's at 5105 FM 326 Lufkin, Texas.
Okay.
And if anyone wants to come out and see y'all and
And get your book signed
Or buy a book, you know. That will be on the 21st of May. And the time, did we say, was it 10:30 to 3 or 11 to 3?
I think you said 10:30 to 3.
10:30 to 3. And that's Central Time, of course, we're in Texas. And
It's
then-
off of 69.
Yeah, it's off of 69. Should be able to put it in their GPS, right, Linda?
Yeah.
And it take you there?
Yeah.
I haven't tried it yet, but I would think so. And then the following week, if nothing happens, we're going to Mississippi, which would be the last full week of May. I think it's the 28th. Our plan is to go to Mississippi, right?
Mhm.
Nothing happens.
You want me to go ahead and fix your plate, Linda?
I'm going to take it to go.
Okay, all right. I have, in case y'all wondering, I have to-go containers at my house because of my kids. They always want something to go. So, okay.
And then June, we don't have everything put together, but we do have some things going on in June too.
Right.
So we're going to be right in the middle of summer before you know it. It's the first of the year, and then all of a sudden it's the middle of the year.
Yep. All right, we're all right. Potatoes. The potatoes are still, they're still hot because I've had them on the stove.
Well,
And I fixed them this
just
morning.
fix your plate near, and then I'll fix the small
Okay.
one.
And this is the peas.
This looks really good. It smells
Well,
delicious.
I tell you, I put a little butter in my peas. Linda
Yeah.
says she don't, but
I do too. I like butter.
I'm gonna put a little bit of butter, a little bit of salt and pepper. And like I said, I've never done this before.
So for all of our Mississippi friends, we'll give y'all more specific information, but right now it's looking like that last full week of May, we would be there, get there Thursday afternoon, late afternoon, and then we would be there Friday and Saturday, go to church Sunday morning, and then come home Sunday afternoon. And Linda and Braden has also got a vacation coming up.
Yes.
That they're going to be having fun next week. Is it Universal Studios?
It is.
That's going to be fun.
Linda, I'm using your trick.
Hey, it works.
First time. Okay. I like to cook my vegetables a little bit long. I probably cook them too long. You know.
Well, I probably tend to also, but these are so cute. Those are the little baby peas.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Okay. We like about 3 minutes for those potatoes. I mean, we'll show them the meatballs when
Okay.
they come out. But Linda,
That's your plate. I'll fix mine.
well, if that's my plate, I don't want that much. I don't want. I'm getting something
Does that
wrong
look
with
good?
all. Go ahead and fix your plate. It's kind of early for me, so I'm not gonna. Light my plate up a little bit. And the meatballs are almost done, and I'll show them to you when they come out of the oven. That gravy is a little thin, but the longer it cooks, the thicker it'll get.
That looks really nice.
Fix you some peas. I took the peas off, Linda.
That's
Sorry.
okay. I just want
I
to bite.
just moved it.
I just want to bite.
So that's going to be our meal today.
That was so good. Thank you, Jesus. I'm
Thank
going
you,
to take a bite
Jesus.
of it.
I'm going to cut that meatball open. That's another reason that you don't want to overcook them in the oven. Is because you're going to either put them in a spaghetti sauce or something, and they're going to cook some more. But they're completely done. They was done when they come out of the oven, but it does flavor it a little bit more.
Actually, a little.
So, someone said, don't forget, they said time for a picture because we always forget. Thank you for helping us.
Thank you. We need all the help we can get.
Also, I kind of went by it kind of quickly. Can y'all say hi to Sheila Hensley? She's in the hospital right now. She's the one that.
Hi,
So-
Sheila.
Hi,
We're
Sheila.
praying for you and hope everything goes well with
Yes.
you and you get out very soon. We love you.
Yes.
I think Sheila's from Ohio.
I read her post that she was going to be in the hospital,
Okay.
and we are keeping you in our prayers. So we love you. So I'm gonna. What do we like? 1 minute on those, because this last turn was 20 minutes. So they're not real brown. The longer you leave them in there, the browner they're going to get. But
But they're
I
done.
wouldn't.
Yeah.
I wouldn't suggest leaving it in there too long because you don't want them tough. Cool them off, and you seen that bag of meat. I'm gonna be making some more this evening, rolling them out. So
Are you taking them to somebody or just making them
I'm
for
gonna
everybody
be
to
putting
eat?
them and put in the freezer
Oh, okay.
since I got the meat.
So you'll have them.
Just have them extra, yeah. So anyway, So what are you doing to do this afternoon?
Well, I'm gonna run by Dillard's and check a couple, see what they've got new in for spring.
Okay.
And I think I'm gonna go on home because I've got to get stuff ready for tomorrow.
Okay.
And you know, because I need to have one of the things ready to cook. When you're cooking, you know, when you're on an hour, these things take time. So
Yeah.
sometimes we cook something ahead of time or partially cook it and finish cooking it. So that's what
Well,
I
I started
do.
working at 6 o'clock this
And
morning.
it's a full
And work, yeah.
day. A
to,
full
to
day.
get everything ready and to cook those extra meatballs this morning. It wouldn't have took me that long, but I'm slow and I take my time.
Well, you have, you know, there's dishes to wash.
Yeah,
there's,
that's
you know,
right.
you have to put stuff up.
All the dishes that I've done.
Pot holder to sit there on. So you just don't put it there. Okay.
All right, Linda, you want to show them? That's how.
And those look nice.
I'm gonna turn the oven off. That's how they are. See, and you just let them cool, and
then you can bag them.
and then you can bag them. And that's how you make baked meatballs.
Those look really nice.
I used to fry my meatballs
Did you?
before I put them in the oven.
Did Mama do that? Seemed like she
No,
might have done
but
that.
but that's what I used to do. I used to fry them, and what that does, it browns all edges.
Yeah.
So if you want them brown just a little bit, just and not in much oil at all, and brown them, and then put them in the oven, and just be less cook time in the oven. But anyway, there's lots of ways you can do things. Cut corners, and like I cut corners by cooking the onions first because
Yeah.
I didn't want no meatball with the raw onion in it. So
These hours go by so fast, don't they, Mary?
they do. They
We
sure
just
do.
love visiting with y'all, and we hope that y'all will come back and watch us tomorrow. If you have friends that don't know about us, tell them about us. And our Mama's book is getting a little bit low in inventory. You can go to www.pinkymallskitchen.com and order our Mama's book or the cookbook or aprons or whatever we have in there.
Right. And we're gonna I don't know if it'll be this week or not. Maybe next week. No, we can't next week because Linda's gonna be gone. We're gonna do something out and about.
Yeah.
We're gonna put some more on the members page, out and about. But it won't be next week because our camera person's gonna be gone on vacation. When she planned this vacation, she didn't realize that it was gonna be back to back to all four of our vacations. And she couldn't change her flight without it cost her too much. So she's gonna be back to back vacationing for 2 weeks
She's
straight.
gonna need a vacation when she gets in.
Yeah, she is. So anyway, we love y'all. And I think our cameraman had to run out and intervene. I don't know if it's a FedEx guy or whatever. She went out to check on him.
So be sure to count your blessings.
Yes.
We love y'all and thank you so much for your love and support.
Yes. We love y'all. See you tomorrow.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.